Welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. You guys, so it is 3:40 here in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're probably wondering what in the hell is you doing up? Well, for one, I couldn't go to sleep. I took a nap earlier. I'm already a night owl. And on top of all of that, Peacock decided to drop the first 3 episodes of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And you guys, it was the best $5 I've ever spent. Okay, I am obsessed with this show. The show is on Peacock, so yes, it is a subscription service that you have to pay $4.99 for, okay, to watch all the episodes. But I would encourage everyone to spend the $5 if you are a Real Housewives fan, because it's a really good experience. Like, the concept of all of these housewives coming together from Beverly Hills and Atlanta and Jersey and New York, and I feel like I'm missing a city, maybe not, but all of them coming together. It's making for some really interesting television, right? There are storylines, there's plots, there's drama, the editing is good, the production is good. I even like the theme song. Okay, y'all know on the streaming services how you have the option to skip the theme song. I don't ever want to skip the theme song. Like, it's really cute. So spend the $5, watch the show. I'm personally obsessed. And I can't believe that there's so much drama already in only 3 episodes, which we already knew that there was going to be drama because all of the plots were kind of leaked online, but it is still worth a watch because how they piece everything together is different from what I imagined. So spend the $5, watch the show. Now, I'm going to tell y'all up front that so far in the first 3 episodes, I would say for me, the stars of the show are Ramona from New York City and Cynthia Bailey from Atlanta, which is really surprising, right? You don't expect Cynthia to hold center peach, but Cynthia is in the thick of a lot of drama on this show, and we're going to talk about it. So you have Kenya and Cynthia from Atlanta. You have Ramona and Luann from New York. You have Teresa and Melissa from Jersey. And then you have Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills, right? Now, before they even go on the show, the ladies are talking via FaceTime. Everybody's gossiping about one another because they don't really know each other, right? Everybody lives in a different city. And you had Ramona making these preconceived notions about Teresa, calling her a scarecrow, basically saying that the girl ain't got no brain, which isn't far-fetched because if you watch the show, to me, Teresa does seem a little bit spacey. Not saying that she's not intelligent, but you know, it is what it is. If y'all watch Jersey, then you know what the hell I'm talking about. Melissa then relays that message back to Teresa before the ladies get on the private jet to go to Turks and Caicos, right? And Teresa just basically says, well, if I'm the scarecrow, then Ramona is the Tin Man, okay? And the Tin Man ain't got no heart, right? So Teresa ain't got no brain and Ramona ain't got no heart. So everybody gets to be a character from The Wizard of Oz, right? Moving right along, the ladies board the private jet, okay, the PJ, on their way to Turks and Caicos. And I'm looking down because I have my notes, y'all, okay? Don't get mad at me. Ramona says, she just randomly blurts out that the Real Housewives of New York City put Bravo on the map, which I think is partly true. But of course, on a private jet on the way to Turks and Caicos with a lot of high maintenance and dramatic housewives, nobody, okay, and I mean nobody agrees with that, because for me personally, it was Atlanta that put me on the Housewives train, okay? I've watched New York, I saw OC, but it was really Atlanta that captured my attention. So you're going to have different opinions about which Housewives show put it on the map. But Ramona just went out and said it was New York, okay? She repping her city. Kenya basically says that Ramona may have dementia because she don't know what the hell she's talking about. Kyle ends up saying that Beverly Hills is the highest rated show right now, which is true, okay? And Teresa, says that she invented table flipping, which is also true. Like when you think of iconic Housewives moments, everybody brings up the table flip from season 1 of Jersey. So I think collectively these ladies have put Housewives on the map. So we can go ahead and just move on from that. During the plane ride though, Ramona is explaining that she is going to set up a dinner at this shack on the beach, right? And it's actually a restaurant that she had went to 6 years prior on her season of Real Housewives of New York. And just to give y'all a little bit of context to the situation, every night, the activity is chosen by one of the ladies. So for instance, one of the nights, Cynthia Bailey has a Bailey Q. One of the nights, the ladies go out to the shack on the beach to go to some restaurant that Ramona, has been to before. Another day, I believe Luann had something. She did something. Every woman has their own thing. Kyle Richards had a dinner where she had a fortune teller come, right? So everybody has their own different nights and days where they get to choose what the hell they're doing for that day. Get it? All right, cool. So Ramona is explaining to the ladies that she has dinner plans at the shack on the beach, and she met the owner of the shack, which is a restaurant, 6 years prior, like I said. She ended up saying that they were kind of flirting 6 years ago, and she really hasn't seen him since. And then, why do I keep saying Kyle's name? Like she's really important in this situation, and she's not. Kenya ended up trying to put the pieces of this story together because it wasn't really making sense. Ramona was married at the time she was flirting with this man 6 years ago. And so Kenya basically asked, so were you married while you were flirting with this man 6 years ago at this shack in Turks and Caicos? And y'all, Ramona got upset. Okay, Ramona got upset. She did not like the fact that Kenya wasn't listening to her story. She did not like the fact that Kenya was, I guess, slick on the low-key side of things, was trying to call her out for cheating, if you would say. But Ramona basically said, bitch, I was getting a divorce. Okay, so don't make it seem like I was doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, right? And we had already heard in the blogs that Ramona done called the girl a bitch on the private jet. And it was really weird. Like, Ramona just freaked out. She was just like, bitch, if you would listen. And I was like, hold up now. Not the geriatric white lady on the private jet calling the black queen a bitch. Like, oh my God. But you know what? It really didn't upset me because I think I was mentally prepared for it. Like I said, it was already in the blogs. And shortly after that, Ramona apologized because she knew she had went off on the deep end and she was acting real crazy. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. The girl was acting crazy, honey. And that kind of came out of nowhere. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. That looked very staged and it looked very contrived. Like, I don't know what producer told Ramona to call Kenya a bitch, but somebody said that we need to get the drama going as soon as we get there. And Ramona was just the person to do it. So yes, Kenya ended up forgiving Ramona. Ramona ended up apologizing. And, Kenya just said, don't do it again, sis. Okay, do not do it again. So they end up landing in Turks and Caicos. I guess they want to kind of sort of come up with a system to try to figure out who's going to get what room. But Ramona's really not listening to nobody. She plops her dirty ass feet in somebody's bed and said, I don't care what y'all got going on. I don't care how y'all figure out the rooms, but this is my room and ain't nobody going to tell me different. Okay? Just being real rude, being real stank, acting like the world revolves around her. I don't know how Ebony K. Williams did a whole season with this woman because she is a tyrant. Like, sis, I'm going to need you to bring it on down, in the words of Candy Burrs Tucker. But while everybody's having like banter and everybody's talking and everybody's trying to figure out this room situation out, Ramona keeps calling Kenya Porsha. Now, One thing about Ramona is that she researched all of the ladies on the trip. And I think she intentionally is seeking out a beef with Kenya because she knows that a beef with Kenya is a storyline, right? And a storyline means another season on your respective reality show, which would be New York City Housewives. And Ramona did her research. You know that Kenya and Porsha don't mess with each other. And this woman called Kenya Porsha on multiple occasions. It was Porsha this and Porsha that and Porsha the third and Porsha Jr., PJ. Okay? It was really strange, but it was actually really funny. Okay? Ramona is really petty. And I do believe, speaking of Porsha, Kyle asked Kenya a question like, who do you get along with on your show? And she said everybody's name. She even mentioned Marlo. Okay. And she mentioned Fallon. Okay. And Kyle basically said, okay, so basically everybody but Porsha. And Kenya was like, yeah. And then they chuckled. And I just start to thinking, and I'm just like, wow, Porsha has taken over the show. Okay, Ultimate Girls Trip is all about Porsha, 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 right? Ramona keeps calling Kenya Porsha. They keep talking about Porsha. Everybody keeps trying to tell Ramona, sis, Porsha isn't on this trip. That's Kenya. And it was shady, but Ramona knew exactly what the hell she was doing. And honestly, I was slick here for it. And I'm going to need them to run my sis Porsha her check, okay? Now, you guys, throughout this whole entire trip, Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills, who y'all know is extremely messy, kept checking the blogs to see what the bloggers were saying about what they were doing in Turks and Caicos, right? It was information being leaked. And it kept happening. Like, the blogs kept getting things so correct and accurate to where it was like to a T, right? And so I believe Melissa and Kyle were talking, and they kept asking themselves, who is leaking this information? Like, there is a mole in this house. Who do y'all think it was? I'm gonna pause this video real quick. Let me know in the comments who you think is the mole, because if you're an Atlanta housewife, then you might have an idea. Now, last season on Atlanta, season 13, Kenya was accused of leaking the Bolo situation to rhubt.com, who we all know is Kenya's bestie. And the reporter that keeps getting these stories correct, these accurate stories of what the ladies are doing in Turks and Caicos, this reporter just so happened to be friends with Kenya. The reporter follows Kenya. Kenya follows the man back. They have a picture together. They know each other. I believe he's from TMZ or something. Kenya, are you the mole, sis? Why do you, on every damn show, have to leak the information to the press? Now, in Kenya's defense, they did ask her about the situation and she denied it. Do I believe her? No. Kenya, girl, you that desperate for attention, sis? So y'all let me know in the comments down below, if you guys watch the show, do you think Kenya is leaking the entire trip to the press? Let me know. Okay, you guys. So basically, y'all, Kenya is becoming besties with Melissa Gorga from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And Cynthia is not happy about it. Okay. Now, y'all, when I saw this storyline being shown, I got secondhand embarrassment again. Because I'm like, Cynthia, are you really bringing your insecurities from Atlanta to Turks and Caicos on this trip with a whole bunch of white women that you do not know? What is going on? Okay, between Nene and Cynthia, I don't know who is more insecure in their best friendships. They both get so jealous so easily. And I'm like, first off, calm down. Your friend can be friends with other people. It is okay. But at the end of the day, you and Kenya are in Atlanta. So why are you jealous about Melissa Gorga all the way up there in Jersey, sis? Why are you so obsessed with Melissa and Kenya's relationship, sis? Y'all, I'm embarrassed. So yes, Kenya and Melissa are becoming besties. They're complimenting each other's bodies and their hair and their skin and their outfits. Oh my God, you're the white version of me and I'm the black version of you and all of that good stuff. And Cynthia is not happy about the situation because y'all know Cynthia is jealous, right? She's getting irritated. So later on that night, Cynthia has her third annual, drum roll please, Bailey Q. Okay, not the Bailey room, not the Bailey wine cellar, not the Bailey modeling room, but the Bailey Q. Okay, I'm surprised she didn't do an Olympics themed Bailey ball, right? But she has the Bailey Q. Everybody's at the table of the Bailey Q on this night, and you have to wear red or get what? Red. Okay. But no, everybody's sitting around at the table. They're drinking water, they're breathing air, they're waiting on Kenya because Kenya's upstairs getting her glam, getting her wig, installed, and all of that great stuff. But meanwhile, at the table, Cynthia is explaining the rules of the Bailey Q, which y'all know. You have the bowl, you have the shady questions. Everybody goes around, pulls out a question, and then answers it. Pretty simple. And then at the end, you have the awards where it's like, who's the smartest, who is the prettiest, who is the strongest, who is this, who is that. All right. Pretty simple. And then you have Kyle, who is in the corner, very meek and shy and coy, talking about, I don't really feel comfortable talking about who's the prettiest. That's just weird to me. Which I kind of understand. It is very counterproductive to sit around as a group of women and talk about who's the prettiest. Yeah, that could be taken as a very positive thing, and then it could also be taken as a very negative thing. So I do understand where Kyle is coming from, but I find it interesting that she has such a problem with talking about who's the prettiest and who's not, when on her show they gang up on people every damn season. You have a problem with talking about who's the prettiest, but yet you don't have a problem with your friend allegedly knowing about her husband and his fraudulent activities. You have a problem with the prettiest question or award at the damn Bailey Q, but yet you don't have an issue talking about Erica Jane behind her back to PK Dorit and your husband Mauricio. Y'all, I could go on and on and on. You have a problem about who the prettiest is at the damn table at the Bailey Q, but yet you did not have a problem with exposing Denise Richards and her lesbian rendezvous with Brandy Thirsty Glanville. Anyways, so Kyle had an issue with the Bailey Q. And no, all jokes aside, Kyle's concerns and her being uncomfortable about the game, it made perfect sense. In Atlanta, they don't really care. They're cutthroat like that. They're just mean. They're mean in Beverly Hills, but it's just kind of different, right? So yeah, it made sense why Kyle was uncomfortable about picking out of a group of women who she does not know who's the prettiest, right? And then finally, after an hour of waiting, Kenya Moore Haircare finally put on her wig and she came downstairs. But before she sat at the table, she got her ass a plate of mac and cheese, and then she sat her ass down at the seat and decided to not apologize about being an hour late. She decided that she did not have any sense of urgency and just strolled on in. She decided not to wait for nobody to eat, but got herself a plate of mac and cheese. And then the cherry on the damn top of the damn milkshake was the fact that when she sat down and Kyle was airing out her grievances about how uncomfortable she was with the game, Kenya Moore Haircare basically said, oh yeah, these questions are unfair. Wrong road, sis. Wrong road. Are you trying to pull out 50 Cent or what? Now, meanwhile, let me tell you how much Cynthia has been a friend. On the private jet on the way to Turks and Caicos, she rolled out the red carpet for Kenya, basically saying that she felt as though Kenya should get the master bedroom because not only is she going through a divorce, but she's away from baby Brooklyn for the first time ever. She did the Wendy Osefo and got this huge ass poster board picture of Brooklyn and got a whole ribbon as the cord. And Kenya cut it on the plane and was basically, I guess, metaphorically cutting a cord. Is that how you say it. Y'all get what the fuck I'm talking about. It was weird, but it was sweet. Okay? And so Cynthia was being a friend. And the fact that Kenya ain't being a friend back is very concerning. Okay? And we've seen this song and dance, time and time again on Atlanta Housewives. Now, you guys, the next day, Cynthia woke up and she was very irritated at the situation. She was upset with Cal for throwing a wrench in her plans, and she was upset with Kenya because Kenya was basically dissing her for the past 2 days. Now, it just so happened that this morning, Kenya had a divorce proceeding via Zoom, right? And Cynthia, I remember saying in her confessional that because Kenya didn't care about her Bailey Q last night, then she's not really caring about Kenya's divorce proceeding, which I thought was kind of harsh. But Kenya deserves it, okay? Because Kenya was dissing the woman. All right, y'all know how Kenya do. Kenya just really is not that great of a friend. Or I'm not going to say she's not a great friend. I take that back. I'm sure Kenya is a great friend. I don't want the Kenya Moore hair care stands and Team Twirl to come after me. I am sure Kenya is a great friend. However, I think Cynthia, and Luann said this in her confessional, Cynthia has these expectations and standards of Kenya that Kenya cannot meet. And I think that is an important theme, a motif in Kenya and Cynthia's relationship. Sometimes we need to stop blaming somebody else for not being a good friend. And sometimes we need to be introspective and look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, maybe my expectations of this friend are too high. And that's exactly what I think is the issue. Anyways, later on in the day, Kenya and Cynthia have a conversation about the situation. Kenya basically tells Cynthia that because they are amongst these strangers, these white women from these other franchises, that Cynthia needs to adapt. Which I think Cynthia did adapt. Once she learned that Kyle and maybe the other women were uncomfortable purposefully shading each other, even though Ramona and them had been doing it the whole time, she modified the game. And so I totally understand what Kenya's talking about when she says that the girl needs to adapt. But I also understand Cynthia when she says, girl, just be supportive. It was supposed to be Thelma and Louise versus the world. And yet, in my personal opinion, it just kind of seems like Kenya is trying to pander to the other white women of the cast. So that's just me and my thoughts. Later on in the day, the ladies had a conversation, specifically Teresa and Melissa. They had an argument about Melissa joining Housewives. They don't agree about how that came to be. And it was clear that Teresa was very salty because Melissa never gave Teresa allegedly a heads up that she was going to be on the show. So that was pretty much it. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about the situation in the comments down below. Y'all spend that $4.99 because the show is actually really, really good. So I'm going to go ahead and log off. I love you guys. And don't forget to create a great day.